It sincerely thanks all fans in attendance tonight and every night for another great show of support. Budweiser wants to remember there's more great games waiting, so please enjoy responsibly. Calgary Flames back under Scotiabank Saddledome Tuesday night when we take on the Columbus Blue Jackets on February 15th. Game time, 7 o'clock. Head to calgaryflames.com for all your ticket information. On behalf of all of us, my name is Beasley saying so long, enjoy your evening, and a great weekend. Right now, Brendan Parker and Ryan Dittrick standing by with the Ram post-game show, brought to you by your Alberta Ram dealers.
Winning Motor Trend Truck of the Year 3 times in a row? That had never been done before. Then again, neither had a 12-inch touchscreen or 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Never been done before. It's just kind of our thing.
Welcome inside the Flames postgame show, brought to you by your Alberta Ram dealers. Brendan Parker alongside Ryan Dittrick here. The Calgary Flames victorious yet again on home ice, this time 5-2 the final over the New York Islanders. Islanders playing the second of back-to-back games, second time in this, the start of this homestand here. Game 3 of the 7-game homestand for the Flames. You get a team coming in on a back-to-back. And, boy, there was a little bit of chaos to begin this hockey game in terms of the starting netminder on the other side of things. We'll get to that in just a moment. But maybe, first of all, full marks to the Calgary Flames and make it 6 in a row now here, both on home ice and six in a row overall.
We've seen some really impressive hockey here at the Saddledome over the last few nights, but for my money, this is one of the most impressive that we've seen, because we talked this morning with the coach and the players about, you know, how you saw the Vegas Golden Knights, you saw the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now you're seeing a team that, you know, like you, is very stingy defensively, and you knew this is going to be a very different hockey game than the one you saw Thursday. They played that game to a T. There wasn't a lot of easy ice, especially through the first 40 minutes, but they managed the puck generally very well tonight, made life impossible for the Islanders to get clean through the neutral zone and get some really good high danger looks, which we've talked so much about. And in the third, these are two teams that both were playing 3 games in 4 nights, but one of them looked like they were, you know, fighting it a little bit more than the other.
Well, and practically nothing in that third period. Lots of opportunities as the period wore on to. Just kind of felt like they kind of wore them out a little bit as that period went along. Well, let's take a look at how it all unfolded here in terms of the highlights in this hockey game. And it started back in the first period for the Calgary Flames. And got a little back and forth in that first frame, but it started for the Flames with the back end, which it has on so many nights over the last, well, first of all in this homestand, but really over the last week or two in terms of games. Rasmus Andersson, Ruzicka the setup.
Slightly different result, but you love to see Rasmus Andersson step up there and kind of take it wide and just use, you know, he's got that offensive instinct in him. Use it, find the open guys.
Noah Dobson would respond. It was a power play marker redirected off Blake Coleman and past Jacob Markstrom. But this was the response that came shortly thereafter. Chris Tanev gets in on it.
Speaking of the D-man stepping up, you're right. You love that. A little bit of patience there. He takes that quick second to evaluate his options. We believe it goes off the stick of Zach Parise there. It doesn't matter. Great shot. Extend that lead.
4 on the season for Chris Tanev, the most that he's had in a year since the 2016 season, and then more in the second period. Look at this little one-touch pass from Adam Ruzicka to set up Andrew Mangiapane in front.
Yeah, bloody mouth there from Andrew Mangiapane, no matter. Again, confident play from Adam Ruzicka there. He steps up at the line. That's an assertive play and maybe something we wouldn't have seen earlier this year.
Nice stuff there either way. 3, and then this one kind of before the end of the period is up. A nice little setup in front to JG Pajot, who finishes off the Parise pass.
Honestly, just the lone blemish on the night. Yeah, this is just one of those situations where there's a little miscommunication. Normally you trade off your center and your defenseman, but just a little bobble there.
So to the third period we go. It's a 1-goal hockey game. Here's the slap shot from Eric Branson that trickles to the line, and we weren't sure. A little kiss for good measure from Oliver Shillington. Love the celebration. It did cross the line, though, on review, and it was a quick review nonetheless. No review needed, though, on this one. Elias Lindholm with the quick release on a wide-open pass from Matthew Tkachuk.
That's what we're talking about, how this game really opened up, and the shots started coming in quick succession. You saw on that example specifically, too, the Islanders at that point in the game getting a little bit soft defensively, and the Flames taking full advantage.
It's interesting. We'll go back to the Goodbranson. I mean, we were kind of talking about it here, and maybe we'll get another opportunity to look at. We don't have the definitive angle. I would assume it was probably the net camera one, but you wonder about one of those where the assumption is it did cross the line, but the glove was kind of hanging above it.
We
You're
didn't
never
get a good
really
look,
sure.
but
Yeah, exactly. Either way it counts, and for Eric Branson, his second of the year, and once again, you get a pair of goals from the defense here tonight.
Goodness. Yeah, the other night, Daryl Sutter was talking about post-game about how in order to be a competitive team in this league, you really need 35 goals from your blue line over the course of a season. They were a little bit off pace for that for a while, but now they're on pace. I think they're approaching 40 after tonight. So you got your top line rolling. We saw a little bit, some of the depth players contributing on the forward units tonight. Now your blue line's operating like this too. I mean, this is kind of what the team's been clamoring for all season, and to see it all come together, it's no surprise they put together a league-leading winning streak like this.
Well, and it's interesting because 2 nights ago, Thursday night, it was Rasmus Anderson. He gets one, his second of the year. You had Oliver Shillington with the one-time blast. And then tonight, I think we're looking at it, tallying it all up. Every single guy gets in on that offense. I know it's not about offense necessarily when you're the defense. You're trying to stop them first, but when you can get them, boy, it does kind of change things, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Oliver Shillington, great look there. It was a second or third period off the bar.
Yeah,
so,
at that point, I think 3-1. Yeah,
it's the same sort of thing, right? Guys stepping up and having that shooting mentality. But for me, this kind of goes back to what was talked so much about this morning. I think it was Salim Valji of TSN asking the question about rush chances with Chris Tanev. And if you're generating offense, that means that you're defensively sound. And tonight's a perfect example because you're playing a team that makes life difficult on you in the neutral zone. If you're able to stop those entries before you even get to the process, you're able to turn it back quickly and start countering offensively. And we saw so many examples of it tonight where the defense are using their wheels and really keeping their heads up.
Another night where I think we kind of wrote on it a little bit. We ran it in our pregame show, but second half backs. I mean, that line again continues to produce and generate and just kind of all over. I mean, the third period, Michael probably could have had 2 on that one shift, but opportunities and boy have they been efficient all over the ice.
It begins and ends with the middle of the ice, and it's funny because Adam Ruzicka has such a strong night down the middle, and if there was one quote-unquote area of concern for this team, it's that you're lacking a little bit of experience there. But Michael Backlund, we know to be a very strong second-half player. Tonight, maybe he doesn't put up the same, number of points offensively as he has been over the past few games. But like you said, he was all over it and could have buried a couple there in the third.
So make it 6 in a row for the Calgary Flames. 5-2 the final here over the New York Islanders. 6 in a row at home, 6 in a row overall, which is the longest active streak in the National Hockey League right now. So let's hear from the head coach. Daryl Sutter is at the podium. Let's listen in on what he has to say post-game.
Daryl, what is Adam Ruzicka doing right now well that's keeping him in the lineup?
I think he was asked that this morning. He's playing better in his own zone. Want him to handle the puck more, which he did tonight.
Anything else on your checklist of what you want to see from Adam stick out for you tonight?
No, I mean, you're playing 3 and 4 nights, and you need 4 lines. And I've said this lots, right? Your centermen drive your team, right? And if one of those guys isn't on, then you have trouble. And it affects the whole line. And that means that 3 guys aren't playing then, right? Not just one. So he played a good game for us tonight.
This would be a better question for him, but from your vantage point, what can a night like tonight where he gets rewarded with a couple points do for him?
Well, it's not just the points. I think with them, we not want him to be. He has to be a third effort player for us. Really, really clear. It's not a here. It's you have to be a third effort player. So tonight he's a third effort player. So I've said it, with his skill set, he should be playing here. So, but not just as a fourth line player. He should be giving us with that skill set. And you give young players that opportunity.
You said you were trying to get your defensemen to shoot more and be more involved. I think all of them had a point tonight. What can you say about their play tonight in the past couple of games?
You know what, you play the New York Islanders, so there's not much room or anything out there, right? You get the puck, you have to get it and put it behind the net, or get it and put it to the net. So a big part of playing against them is how you play in your own zone, because their team is built around their forecheck and their structure. So it's how you got to get the puck out of the corners and how you got to get it out of the zone clean. So it's not got nothing to do with defenseman points. I couldn't really care less about that. It's about them making the next play. But even on the Tanev goal, that's because the play's made coming out of the zone. I mean, it's not the rewards at the other end, but that's their job.
What was sort of your overall assessment of how your group got through their structure, and they lock it down pretty good?
We talked about it. You got to have a game plan. And we played 3 different type of teams, and it's not always your game plan is not always perfect. I mean, it's a 1-goal game going into the third period, right? So that's how the Islanders play. That's why they went to the conference finals last year, and really that was them and Tampa should have been the Stanley Cup final.
I guess for you as a coach, is it encouraging lately to sort of see your team be able to play these different types of teams and different styles of games and have success?
You know what? We're just trying to, with our schedule right now, the 3 games a week, we're just taking a week at a time. We had a good week. Now we're going to start working on next week.
Coming out of the All-Star break, the schedule's set up with a lot of home games. Are you seeing that kind of offensive swag, or swagger in general, in this building that you kind of need to see over the rest of the season?
Because we're at home?
Yeah, do you see the team playing well, like kind of embracing, making this a building that they can dominate?
Well, I think our crowd tonight was quite helpful in it. It's a hard game to play, 3 and 4, right? We need them to give us a little jump too. So they did.
Daryl, we saw Mangiapane. He struggled at home early. He's now got 3 goals in 3 games at home. What are you seeing change in his game?
Well, we played 3 in a row at home. So, I mean, we're trying to catch up in home games. We said we have 8 games to make up, so they put them in February. That's where they're going to go. So Mange hadn't been himself at home compared to on the road. So now he's being a little more assertive at home.
Okay.
All right, there's some thoughts from the head coach, Daryl Sutter. We're expecting to hear from a couple of players here as well, Andrew Mangiapane, and one of the guys who came up quite a bit in that press conference would be Adam Ruzicka. Now, I know we heard quite a bit about Rosie, as he's affectionately known as, but wanted to go back to something Daryl Sutter said this morning, in particular about Ruzicka. Let's listen in on that now.
Development there? I think he's improved in his own zone. I want him to be a better player with the puck. I want him to demand the puck more. I want him to be a more third effort player. I want him to use his size more. I want him to use his speed more. We're playing him basically in a 3C role when you look at it, giving him every opportunity to succeed, and that's up to him to take it or leave it.
So partly play that because obviously when he was asked first thing out of the post game, he said, "I talked about it this morning," and that's what he said. And I think some good value in there. You heard.
Well, absolutely, and I find it interesting. We were living in the moment and kind of listening to what he was saying about the improvements and the steps that he's taken in his game. But when you specifically listen to the words and you see the type of game he put on the ice tonight, talking about demanding the puck. Well, we were watching the highlight reel and talked about the assertiveness that he had with it. And there's a certain confidence that comes with this type of player. And we know he has the pedigree of the offensive numbers that he put up in the American Hockey League. But this is obviously a big step up. And when you're playing limited minutes in these roles, you really do have to make the most of your opportunities. He's done that. And I think there was a real good vote of confidence for this player going back to the All-Star break. It would have been really easy for the Flames to send him down and maybe stash a little cash away for the salary cap. They didn't do that. They said, you're along for the ride with us, and he's taken advantage of his opportunities here. Full value for it.
Well, and, you kind of look at the minutes tonight. He gets 12 minutes, a goal and a helper. And I would imagine as a younger player, that confidence, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what you're talking about. You can do it. You're capable of doing it at professional level. You've seen those numbers at the American Hockey League. And, Daryl's has talked, about having those wingers on his side, too. I mean, Trevor Lewis has mentioned it. There's some experience, some good veteran leadership on both wings. And, that's part of that growth, that evolution for a player.
It's funny you mentioned that because you couldn't ask for two better players to be playing alongside of me. Milan Lucic and Trevor Lewis, two guys that have won cups and have been, through the ringer of a full NHL schedule. So they know what it's all about. They also know what it was like to break into the league at a young age. So to see a guy and help him along and for a guy like Lucic as well, I think he takes pride in being a part of that process and helping a young player along because he understands that this team needs that to get to where they want to go.
One of the stars tonight, Milan Lucic, but one of the other ones was Adam Ruzicka, the number one star, in fact, tonight for the Calgary Flames, who finishes with a goal and an assist. Let's hear from Ruzicka now.
On Andrew's goal, what was your perspective on that? Because it looked like you were looking to shoot, but did you notice that he was open in the slot there?
Well, it was a split second. I just kind of saw him get open and put the puck on the stab. He told me he didn't even know that I was passing him the puck, so it hit him, and I was fortunate that it went in.
It's got to be a good pass if he doesn't even know it's coming and it goes in, right?
Well, a little bit of lucky part there, but it's all right.
What does a night like this mean for you? Your team gets the win, you get your first multi-point game, you get the first star spin. What was the night like tonight?
To be honest, I didn't really care about the points. I care about that we won the game 6 in a row, and that's all that matters.
And it's 9 games in a row you've been in the lineup. What are you doing well that's keeping you in the lineup, in your opinion?
Just play honest game, play hard, and simple. That's all it takes for me.
Adam, what's the benefit to having a couple veterans like Milan and Trevor on either wing?
Obviously, it helps. We communicate a lot on the bench, and they help me through every shift, and I'm fortunate to play with those guys.
Did you see the Slovakian flag in the corner during warm-up?
Yeah, I went there and say hi for a little bit.
It wasn't family or anything like that?
No, it was random. It was nice to see some Slovak fans in the building tonight.
And what was it like to go up against Chara for the first time in your career?
Oh, well, he's a tough dude to go against, right? Long stick, big body, and tough in the corners. But I'm looking forward to playing a lot more against him. Hopefully, we'll see. And yeah, it was great.
I'm going back to when you got called up, and now comparing to tonight. Where's your confidence level up?
It's raising each and every game. That's how I'm going to put it there. Okay. All good?
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
We call it the Ram 1500 Limited. But truth be told, there's nothing limited about it. Ram 1500, winner, J.D. Power Award for Best Driver Appeal.
All right, Flames postgame live brought to you by your Alberta Ram dealers. Parker, Ryan Dittrick, 5-2 win. The Calgary Flames over the New York Islanders. Heard from Adam Ruzicka there. Anything stand? I mean, man, a few words in some ways, but it played to the talking tonight. And, we'll hear from Andrew Mangiapane here in a minute, but we kind of joke about a little bit of luck there. With great pass, though. It does end up in a pretty goal.
Well, I kind of chuckled a little bit because he used the word honest game. And if you were to ask Daryl Sutter how to describe this team's identity, I think he's mentioned it a few times this year.
Right from the start.
We are an honest, hardworking team. So he's clearly heeding the message from up top. And if you're looking for examples of it tonight, I think that was an honest game. If we're being honest about it, it was a guy who doesn't cheat you defensively and is, putting in the work, which again, Daryl Sutter said this morning, that's what you want to see out of a guy who's trying to make a name for himself. Don't let your work ethic ever stand in the way of your skill set, because he has a ton of both.
Just quickly, we're going to hear from Ange. 5 goals, though, in 5 games. I asked him in the second intermission if he changed anything, because it's now 3 straight games on home ice with a goal.
And what did he say?
He said, no, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but he said great feed from Ruzicka. So no intel in terms of the game change, but maybe he
also
took the road
a few
routine.
words.
Either way, whatever he's doing, it's been working. But the goals have been coming in quick succession here on home ice. What have you liked about Mange quick?
Well, where are we at in the Cy Young race? I haven't checked that in some time.
It's balancing out a bit.
Yeah,
he's got 7 helpers now. It's 24-7.
Okay, so it's starting to look
Still
a little
pretty
bit
good
better.
record.
It's
Yeah,
not bad.
It's balancing.
But yeah, what a luxury it is for the Flames to have a guy whose primary task is filling the net, and he's doing that pretty well right now. So, you know what? Team leading, 20 some odd goals. He's at the top of the charts. So taking a little bit of the heat off the top line too, because these past 3 games, they've been playing some tough minutes too. So these aren't easy matchups to win, and it just gives you a whole lot of options when you're able to trust these guys out there in a variety of different roles.
Andrew Mangiapane, he, as mentioned there by Ryan Dittrick, 24 goals to lead the Calgary Flames in scoring, and 5 goals in his last 5 games. Red hot, especially here on home ice. Let's hear from him now.
I have questions for Andrew.
I guess you guys can stay home for a while now.
Yeah, we're playing, I think, good hockey here at home. It feels nice to win at home and get the crowd involved, and it's fun to play here right now.
Daryl talked earlier and just now about playing different styles of game, depending on what the opponent is trying to do. What if you look at the last 3 on this homestand together, what's been the common theme for you guys? What's worked so well?
I'd say just kind of, playing all together. That's breaking out as 5, come through the neutral zone with speed together, and then, whether we're chipping it in or carrying it in, everyone's kind of doing a job. We dump it in, and, guys are on their D. If we carry it in, we're crisscrossing, making plays, and we're just kind of, we're working together, right? And it's fun to play.
I guess, is that sort of the secret to your guys' success, sort of generally lately, figuring out different ways to win different styles of games, sort of sticking with those kind of roles and just sticking to them?
Yeah, and everyone kind of has a role on our team, right? When we're playing our best, all 4 lines are going, all 3 D pairings are playing well, and whoever's in net has been rock solid for us. So that's why our team's good, is we roll all 4 lines and everyone contributes.
When we just chatted with Adam, and he said that you mentioned to him that you didn't know he was passing to you when the puck came at you. What was your perspective?
I was kind of battling in front there, and I don't know. I saw him kind of pick the puck up, and I just had my stick on the ice, and he just hit it off my stick and went in. And I was just battling in front with the guy there, and then he made a great pass.
Andrew, it wasn't that long ago that you were the guy trying to get in and stay in the lineup like Ruzicka. Do you ever chat with him about that, or do you kind of see what he's going through and kind of remember that?
Yeah, I try to help him here and there, but he knows kind of what to do as well, right? He knows how to play. He's a good player, right? So don't want to kind of fill his head with too many things. He's just got to go out there, play his game, and obviously, there's a learning curve to it, of course, and that just comes with playing, right? And getting opportunity to play and getting put in different situations, and he's playing well for us, so it's nice to see.
There's a guy that sees his game closer than us from ice level. What do you see in his game?
Oh, he's a good center, right? I played, I think, maybe a year against him in junior as well, so I've kind of seen him grow, and he got drafted here, right? And I think he was maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, kind of after me, type of thing. So he's been great, right? He's a big, strong center, good down low, come through the middle with speed, and he's just smart in the offensive zone. He has time and space. He makes a great play, right? And you saw it today, even on my goal, right? And he made the play. I just kind of tapped it in.
Andrew, going back to your experience, because he sat up here and you've been there, 15 games in or whatever, you want to do the right things, you want to say all the right things, it's all about the team. What can tonight, where he gets a goal, gets an assist, gets the first star spin, what will tonight mean to a guy in that spot?
I think it's huge, right? It's good for his confidence. Whenever you kind of score, get an assist or you make a nice play, whether it's offensive, defensive, when you're just kind of coming into the league, whatever you do, you hit a guy, you feel good, right? You hit a guy, turn the puck over, and you may not even get an assist, but the other team or your team goes down and scores, you're happy about it, or right, or when anything that you do, right? It's just kind of feels awesome whenever you kind of help the team win, right? And when you get a goal and when you get an assist in a big game like this, it's great for him, and you just gotta kind of use that confidence into the next game.
What's it like, what's the feel driving to the Saddle Dome on a game day now, just with the success they're having in this building? Does it feel like you have some swagger, like you're making this a tough place where you kind of come in expecting to win?
Yeah, and that's our goal, right, is to be, a hard team to play against at home, right? The last couple, I'd say, years, last year we didn't really have fans, and, a couple, we're running at 50% right now, I believe, right? And but it's great that fans are here, and, we feed off it, and, and there's, emotion, they're starting to wave and, singing, and, it's a fun atmosphere to play in, right? So it's, obviously we missed it last year, and it's, it's great when we're winning at home and getting the fans involved.
Andrew, what does it do for the group when guys who are known for their defense, like Eric and Chris, are scoring as well?
Oh, it's great, right? That's exactly what I mean when I say, we're a good team when all four lines are going and all 3D pairings, right? We rely on everybody to do certain things. Obviously, some guys, good, he's strong, tough. Chris, great hockey player, right? And it's great when they score and help the team win, right? Everyone's kind of happy, and again, that's what makes our team good.
Andrew Mangiapane, no worse for the wear after the elbow to the lips, but he gets the goal and the smile intact. He mentioned, defenseman, but tonight Eric Branson, he gets his second goal of the season. It's 5 goals from your back end in the last 2 games. But Goodbranson really stood out for me tonight. It's a scrap. Obviously, we know what he does night in and night out on the PK and defensively. But nice to see one going for him.
And you just love that reaction from his teammates, too, coming to the bench, just mobbed by the guys. But you're right, this is a guy that coming into the season, I'm not sure what expectations were from the organization, but he's exceeded all of them in every possible category. And we're talking about a guy who doesn't just give you good third pairing minutes. He played 17 plus tonight. These are not easy assignments for a guy, especially when you're playing a crazy schedule like we've talked so much about. So he's come in to give it a little offensive punch, and you see that right there. I think this probably speaks volumes about his entire addition to this hockey team, because in talking to some of the people that have had him over the course of the years, he's played for a few different organizations. He's a really galvanizing presence, and I think that his fellow teammates really look to him as kind of I was going to say a mentor, but kind of a father figure as well. I think there's a real appreciation for the experience he has and how he's able to bring guys together, and I think he prides himself in that type of role as well.
Well, that's all we got left. Oh, yeah. Well, take a look at kind of as we spoke about it. But over the last 2 games, we got 5 of them from the back end. Here's a look at all 5, and they'll come in bunches. But now I think we total it up 6 tonight from every single one on the back end, and that's now 18 points over the course of this 3-game homestand so far.
Guys stepping up. Rasmus Andersson showed it there. They're getting active. They're getting their feet moving. They're finding these lanes and establishing layers of screens in front of the goaltender. And, in cases like that, sometimes that's all it takes. We've talked about having a shooting mentality. Well, against stingy teams like the New York Islanders, how are you going to create offense? Probably not off the rush like we saw against Vegas and Toronto. You need to get greasy. You need to get pucks on the net and send bodies there. And right now, that's how this defensive group is finding their success. They're not getting crazy fancy with the puck. They're keeping it simple, and they're making the right decisions.
Some great insight for sure, but I think that's enough hockey. We got to, before we wrap this up, give us a Super Bowl pick here tomorrow. We heard from a couple of guys. I think the betting favorites are on the Rams right now. What do you got, Mr. Dittrick? Let me hear it.
more of a CFL guy personally, but no, I'm going to go with
Stamps are not in this game.
You know what? I just, since we work in the profession on the media side of things and we like interacting with playful personalities and guys that are going to give you some insight,
you're going Joe Burrow.
I think it's impossible not to. I mean, it would be a ton of fun to cover a guy like that. And, I think I have a piece running tomorrow too. I'd like to find out where he got those shades, the Cartier. I don't know. You can tell I'm not a style guy, but he wears sunglasses of some brands.
Well,
so you might want to seek them
is
out.
this piece that's coming out tomorrow, that's going to be a fashion piece now? Or it's going to be
It's a little bit of everything. That's
Okay,
I try to
a
keep
little
people on their toes.
All right. We'll look forward to that at Flames TV.
But what about you? Let's go.
I mean, I think head pick is probably the Rams, but sentimental. I want to go Bengals. I like the story. It's been a lot of misery in Cincinnati, but at the same time, I'm a Steelers fan, and
you're a fence sitter basically, like Michael Backlund was when we asked him the other day.
A little bit.
That's
yeah,
okay.
I'm not really pulling for any side. I'll use who said it wasn't it Backlund? I'll just cheer for a good game.
A good game.
Yeah, cheer for a good game.
We hope everybody has fun. And yeah.
By the way, I read a report this morning that they're expecting $7.6 billion to be bet on this game. So there may be a few of us, like Michael and I, that didn't pick a side, but there's clearly a few others that went in heavy.
That's close to your salary. That's a huge amount of money.
It's nearing my salary.
Jeez.
That's right. Yeah, over the course of my 17,000 lifetimes. All right, that does it for the postgame show. And no better way to put a wrap on it. Yeah, that definitely does it there. And we'll see if we'll be allowed back for next game. But either way, Calgary Flames victorious here on this night, 5-2 the final over the visiting New York Islanders. And now time for a little Super Bowl action on Sunday. The Flames return to gameplay here at the Saddle Dome to continue this homestand on Tuesday against the Blue Jackets. The first part of back-to-back games once again here at home. Thanks for watching the postgame show on Flames TV Live. We'll see you on Tuesday.